Had a specific friend who just turns around and goes, "Stop giving me solutions, I just want to be heard."
So then I started up this Divine Life Alchemy, which is like a healing circle.
They see themselves as part of the entire consciousness, don't they?
Yes,
and so that's when they call it the ego death.
And that was the biggest thing in my life, because I realised I don't need a normal job, I don't need the system, I don't need anything that I think I need, because I've got my guitar.
Funny Universe Podcast. Funny and tragic stories and their spiritual life lessons.
Childhood, basically. I think due to my childhood wounds, I think a lot of us, especially when there's neglect, certain elements involved where you shut down, you go quiet, and it's been easy to go quiet. And what's really funny is a lot of us who do that, we've got the other side of us that really wants to be loud, and that's why we go and drink loads of alcohol, whatever it is that we felt we needed to do to bring that extroverted part out. But so I had many years of not kind of wanting to be in the limelight, but not wanting to be, So I had many years of not kind of wanting to be in the limelight, but not wanting to be, feeling like there's something I want to share, but not really knowing how to, and not having that communication skills to really be able to bring it through, But that's another thing when I think of it that drew me to come to Glastonbury, was that people are doing healing, so they're on a spiritual path, and so those things meant a lot to me. So there's that music on one side, and then on the other side there's healing, and how do we become stronger in ourselves to really be able to communicate clearly in music? How do we bring our soul, how do we bring our essence into our music, so then it's not just music, it's actually something more profound comes in through our music. And I know it does with people anyway, whether they think they're spiritual or not, because most people would say that music is a form of love. They feel something in it, that moves them. So I had to find a way to move through these wounds, to move through what was holding me back, and coming to Glastonbury was a way to connect with other people and share. And so then I started up this Divine Life Alchemy, which is like a healing circle, and I intended to actually do one-on-one healing with people, but it never got to it, because when you've got so many projects on the go, you just can't do it all. I've had to realise that. So I in the end, I started this little circle where we come together. We kind of have a sharing circle where we talk about what we could be feeling, and it might be something really exciting. I'm on top of the world right now. I've managed to. Things are just going so well, and it's good to hear that. But it's also good to hear, it's difficult, but it's good to hear. I really don't, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing in my life. It could be something really difficult, and you have to sit there and listen. We don't have to. You could leave, but we choose to listen, and we choose to honour. I think is a big word. I'm sure that's something that means something to you, to honour each other. So we're trying to respect and honour each other's journey, and just take that moment just to listen to someone else's story. And when we do that, some kind of magic happens, and then we sing, and we have a bit of a singing circle as well, and we alchemy, I suppose you'd call it, and somehow the people feel heard, and then they go away feeling uplifted in general. And the music's a big part of it. So I say, let's try and move this, what we've expressed, let's try and bring that into our songs and jam together and find a way to shift it and almost give it up to Mother Nature, And then at the end we do some prayers for Mother Earth, or prayers for other people, so there's that kind of element of gratitude. I've had a time to express myself, and now I'm going to put my energy to other people, and so hopefully, people go away feeling grateful and like they've been heard. And I think it's so important these days, because it's all talk, and but who's listening, right?
Exactly. I totally agree. In fact, that's a lot to do with the therapies. That's why people go to receive therapy or healing. Is to kind of get the energy that's inside outside, because it gets stuck on the inside, and the only way they can get that energy out is either through dance, through music, through creativity, or locally get the story or the images or whatever they're feeling inside outward, to just unblock whatever's inside.
And then it's amazing, isn't it? Because you see the glow in the person come back, exactly what you said. So so it's exactly that. And the fact that the combined energy of a few people together choosing to listen, to be a witness, to just be present. That combined energy helps the other person unblock, like you said.
Yeah. So I'm so used to people coming to me sharing anything traumatic in their life, because I do hypnotherapy and I do past life regression, and they tend to just tell me their childhood, all of their, just mind dump everything that's going on, and it's my job to hear and listen.
Yeah.
However, the other thing is they come to me for solutions as well, because they want to find a way to heal, a lot of them. So then I'm just so used to going to default mode. Oh, well, if you do this, this will help you, you know. But the funny thing is, I forget that that's not how I should react with friends and family.
Yeah.
Because sometimes friends and family, they just want to tell you and vocal dump, mind dump, whatever on you, and they just want you to listen. And I've had a specific friend who just turns around and goes, stop giving me solutions. I just want to be heard. Just stop it. So that's a good lesson for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh no, was that coming from my ego or just like default mode? So yeah, that's a lesson learned for me, to just actually ask, do you want my opinion or not? If not, then don't worry, I'm here to listen.
So we went to Peru to really, I didn't actually want to do ayahuasca. It wasn't the main reason to go. The main reason was to go to Peru to try and find a community where we could help out and that I could live more earth-based, you know, and be with nature. So I thought, well, let's go and do it. So my ayahuasca experience was terrible. But I feel it was a near-death experience. It wasn't actually just an ego death, you know. I mean, from what my partner was experiencing, you know, so who was with me said that you know, it was very bad. But the experience, well, I suppose it wasn't tragic because I could have actually died, you know. But the experience made me recognise how precious my life is, you know. So that was what came from that, really. So it wasn't tragic, but I suppose it was in a way, because I thought I was dying. I was on the jungle floor screaming my head off while someone was holding me down, you know. So, but this is the thing, like ayahuasca is like, you know, people need to really respect it, you know, and just respect that these are strong medicines, and that the Western world, we're not really, a lot of our systems aren't ready for this, you know. Maybe it's what we eat, maybe it's all the trauma, you know, so, and there's so many lessons you can get from that. And I went in there respectful as well. There's a lot of people who take ayahuasca and just being like, oh yeah, we'll just, you know, I was like really on the diet already, what we needed, you know. Yeah.
Ayahuasca is a plant medicine. They help people realise the bigger picture a lot of the time, because like you said, it's almost like an ego death, or they feel like they've died because their consciousness comes out of their body and they're looking at themselves as something separate from them, what they're observing, and because of that they see the bigger picture and how things are interconnected in the world, not necessarily they themselves, I, me. They see themselves as part of the entire consciousness, don't they? Yes, and so that's when they call it the ego death, because it's not just the meat body, it's actually you become part of the consciousness because you separated. And that's what a lot of people, why they want to take ayahuasca, so that it's almost simulating death, because you purge a lot. It's almost like you feel like you're sick and you're dying. There's lots of things happening.
When I was wild camping and living in the wild, I lost my bank card. So there's a tragic experience.
Oh no.
It's like, oh my God. And I was just like, and in that moment, I felt this feeling of like, what is gonna, I don't know what to do. It's like, I'm buggered, right, this is it now, you know. It was almost like the whole world had just crumbled, and I was just like, oh, this is it. And I was like, well, why don't I just pick up my guitar and play? And then, that day I had like 30 quid, but in that moment, I went in doomsday in my head, but I actually realised that I'm going to be all right. And that was the biggest thing in my life, because I realised I don't need a normal job, I don't need the system, I don't need anything that I think I need, because I've got my guitar.
Visit Glastonbury, the heart chakra of the world, where you can be your authentic self at healthfreedom.uk.